Okay, we're back to working on the Empire Simulator, and I think I'm pretty much done. This cube represents the starting area and everything that is visible on the map at any time. These different colored squares are the different empires. You'll notice that there's 4 different colored squares, but there's 5 empires. That's because the first one is an empty empire, which just represents everything that isn't part of these 4, which the player will be able to interact with. Alright, and let's set this to take only 1 turn at a time. And I have it jury-rigged so that every time this validate checkbox gets checked to true, it will run a turn here. So let's give it a go. Oh wait, how many turns am I doing? Okay, so that's taking 10 turns for every click. Let's slow it down to just 1 turn. That way you can kind of see it growing a little bit faster. Something I like about this is it reminds me a lot of how slime mold grows. If I show this white and black, I should tell you this first, this white and black represents difficulty levels. So a black means that there is no difficulty for these empires to conquer the area. And the white means that it is extremely difficult. And this isn't taking into account the number of enemy armies in the area. It is kind of an arbitrary value that represents the danger of that area. So in game, these white areas will be super bad seas, terrible weather, lightning striking your ship at every possible moment, and the black areas will be beginner zones, very calm and easy to navigate. This distribution is not going to be what the game is like. I'm going to customize this. This is just a temporary noise algorithm to kind of see how everything is working. And if I make it more visible, you can see as these different empires expand, the more an army goes over a particular pixel, the less dangerous it becomes, which means it'll become easier for the next army and easier for the army after that. And another variable I should explain. These bright colored pixels represent the number of militaries in that particular plot. So right now, these blank areas that I can turn up, these areas that are flashing basically have nothing in them, but they're still claimed by the empire that last claimed them. Anyway, let's continue going. See what interesting stuff happens. You can see now how those bright spots are moving around and interacting with each other. Sometimes, like right now up here, they're actually turning around to go in and fill in this area that they missed. And that's because the capital is what determines, the capital of this empire is what determines where it goes next. Essentially, it shoots out rays from the center, and whenever that ray travels along, and let's say it goes straight up, once it hits something that is not part of this capital's empire, then it will make a big circle with the radius being equal to the distance that the ray has traveled. So that means it'll be half between the center and the edge. And all the armies that are within that circle go and move towards the areas that are not conquered yet. So right now, as you get more empires, as you get more plots conquered, the number of rays that this capital shoots out also increases. So this area just increased, and so another ray was added, and it probably just hit this little area right here, which is why all this stuff is turning around to come and deal with it. Anyway, let's keep going. And I'm going to speed it up to take 10 turns at a time. Right now we are at turn 46 because I left the validate thing open. You can see huge jumps. Some of these, I think that one of the empires has completely collapsed, and this blue one is kind of on its last legs. But let's see. Let's see what happens. It's starting to slow down, and that's just because I have this list here, which is 17,000 items long, and so that slows down the editor. But the game itself is running about 400 or something. Look at that! The blue is still hanging on. Come on, blue, you can do it! Once you start getting into these later years, this is about turn 100, you start seeing these weird lines appearing. I'm not super concerned about that, mostly because I am pretty tired of this, so I'm willing to accept such weirdness. Man, some of these guys really got out pretty far away. Oh. So the limiting factor here is eventually there will be too many armies and navies so that the compute shader can't actually hold any more data. I'm not sure when that will be, but I don't think we'll really have to worry about it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what our paths are looking like. Oh, yeah, it's just completely carved it out. So these are all just completely free places to sail around now. Alright. Yeah, this editor is really struggling. Oh, close that. Let's see if we can go until failure. (226 turns), pretty good. And we're up to approximately 60,000 individual navies. There's probably a similar number of armies, but I haven't actually implemented the armies into this calculation, and I don't think I will. It's kind of annoying. I do think this spread of highly militarized zones is rather interesting. I suspect that what's happening is the capital of the green is somewhere like right there. And so every time the capital of this lime green is somewhere right here. And every time turquoise comes in and conquers it, the capital is still the capital for the lime. And so turquoise conquers the capital of lime. And so the ray that the capital of lime shoots out hits itself. And so everything that's along the borders gets called back to the center to deal with it, to reconquer the lime. And since this keeps happening over and over, it's made this even distribution. So I wonder how that'll affect everything as it develops further. Whoa. The editor is really struggling right now. $236. I clicked. I'm just waiting for it to... There it goes. 246. It looks like green has managed to take back its capital, or lime green has taken back its capital. So you can see these troops are starting to move back out to the edges. I am surprised that there's not more conflict along these borders. One more click, and then I think I'm done. Oh. They're starting to move back. Okay, maybe I want to see what happens here. Oh man, everybody's coming back into the center to clash. Looks like they're moving back on. The reason why we've been able to go for so many turns is because they've stopped expanding, which means the number of navies and armies and islands hasn't changed because they keep coming back to the center to duke it out. Look at that. They're losing land. Let's see what our shader is telling us. Nothing. They've completely conquered. Let's move around. Yes, the entire simulation for this representation, it's like every pixel is 100 miles, so this thing's got to be over 1 million cubic miles, and it's all just on a single little square floating in nothing. Let's see what our areas here are looking like. Kind of interesting. Okay, I think I'm done. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.